This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodvinetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodvinetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodvinetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. Hey, Meryl.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
I am doing a 14 out of 10.
Okay. All right. I like to hear that.
How about you? What are you out of 10?
You know what? I would have to say I'm a 15 out of 10. I feel great.
Oh my God. I don't mind being one up when it's good news like that. That's great.
Maybe I'll play the lottery and get lucky. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. The other day I played the lottery and I won another ticket, and then I won another ticket again. And then I played that, and then I won $4, and that was it. And then I bought a box of Frosted Mini Wheat cereal.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and then I called it a day, and it was perfect. Exactly. So I just got I spent $3, and I got. Wait, actually, now that I think about it, I lost $1, but it's okay.
Hey, as long as you had fun, that's the important thing.
Mhm. Well, do you want me to kick us off?
You go ahead and start us off this week.
Okay, great. So I love this. A 5-year-old flying enthusiast spotted a discrepancy in the Southwest training manual. A 5-year-old Colorado boy, William Hines, noticed 2 terrain monitor images in a Southwest training manual that didn't match. One appeared more zoomed out than the other. His mom shared the story, and it traveled internally at Southwest, and the airline ultimately invited William and his family for a VIP tour in Dallas of this training facility. So his aviation interest was nurtured through airport visits and a visit from Southwest pilot who spent time teaching him the basics and then gifted him the manual. And then this kid was astute enough to show that it wasn't really an error per se. It was more just catching a mismatch in how the 2 displays were depicted. But still, nonetheless, Southwest jumped on it and then made its way to CEO Bob Jordan, who extended the invite. And I just think I want that kid to fly my flight in like 4 years. Once he's 9 years old and ready to fly a plane, I'll be ready.
Yeah,
I just think that's so great.
It's great, but the other thing that's kind of scary is how many professional pilots have used this simulator and did not catch that.
I know. So luckily it wasn't something like, oh no, we've been flying these planes. It was just like a mismatch. But I mean, get that kid into the aviation industry quick, because we need someone to see like interrupted patterns and everything.
That's true. One of the things I would love to see the government do is start opening up the eyes of young people into the aviation industry. It could be as a pilot, or especially this, or traffic controllers, which we are dramatically under the amount that we need to be. And the crazy thing is, this has been happening so long, is that even with the dangerous level that we're at now, as far as the need for traffic controllers, and again, I probably don't see it, but it doesn't seem like they're really doing anything to try and get people excited or interested in this program because
Right.
it is a program where, if you go through it 9 times out of 10, if you're successful, you will find a job because
Yeah,
it's getting to the point of being desperate now. So
exactly.
I just hope that, maybe this story kind of ignites people's fire to be a pilot, maybe be a steward or stewardess, maybe even be air traffic controller. There's so many things that could be done in the aviation industry. So kudos to this young man.
Now, when you were 5 years old, would you think you'd be able to spot a mismatch on the Southwest Aviation Training Manual?
Probably.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that today. I feel like if I was looking at a Southwest plane and a JetBlue plane, I could barely tell the difference of like actual planes. So
I think I'd be just excited being in that simulator, just having fun.
I know that's so cute.
It is true. That is true. Well, since we're talking about flying, this is an interesting topic here, but Uber is now launching their flying taxis.
Oh my god.
So get ready for takeoff, Meryl, with Uber and Joby.
No.
So this is right off of the Uber website here, the Uber newsroom, they call it. The future flight is coming Uber. We're introducing Uber Air, powered by Joby, giving riders a first look at how they'll be able to book Joby Aviation's all electric air taxis directly in the Uber app. Joby expects to carry its first passengers later this year in Dubai, making wow, that's a heck of a place to start at. But in
I
Dubai,
was just gonna say, I don't know if we want things flying through the air right now in Dubai.
um, I think this statement was made before,
I know. Something tells
um,
me that's probably going to be delayed by a few months.
yes, yes. Making a major milestone in the Joby Uber partnership to bring multi uh, model transportation to cities around the world. So here's what Uber riders can expect. So here's what you can expect, Meryl, when you get on there, okay? Uh,
Yeah. Never, unless the 5-year-old is looking out for me.
so where to go, Bar? If the trip qualifies, Uber Air powered by Joby will appear as an option. With a single tap, the app seamlessly connects and books every leg of the journey, including Uber Black pickup and drop off. Joby Flight Experience. Joby's all electric air taxis being designed for up to 4 passengers with comfortable seating, featuring large windows with panoramic views to the city below from every seat. Flown by a certified commercial pilot, it offers a remarkable way to travel above the city and experience the next generation of flight. Yeah, I don't know about this one. What do you think, Meryl?
Mm-mm. No, I think this sounds just so like a disaster waiting to happen to me. I think this sounds like an innovation that we're not ready for yet. If we could barely like get Waymo going, and there's all these issues with even like self-driving cars and everything. I just feel like we're not ready. Um, and I mean, I guess let we can test it in Dubai with like the very wealthy people that like want to be doing that kind of stuff anyway and might have the money, but hopefully it's like totally safe too, because of course, like I mean, this sounds like I mean, who knows? It sounds like one of the ideas. I never want to look down upon like technology and advancement because I know that's how people felt about flying in general and planes and they thought the Wright brothers were crazy and everything, but um I just think in this day and age, it seems like so much more testing has to happen before we use it as like a actual society.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we have enough issues as it is driving vehicles on the ground, and now we're talking about putting them in the air. Um, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that personally, just because of the fact that
Yeah.
you know, it's unknown technology, first of all. And plus, the environment, let's say from one country to the next, is going to be so much different, as far as air
Yep.
quality, as far as the air traffic. There's so many nuances. And sometimes there's things going on where all of a sudden a section of airspace has been restricted for a day or a week because there's a dignitary or something going on. How quickly are these air taxis going to be able to adapt to that? You
I
know,
know. I wonder, did it say how high they go? The elevation?
that's a great question. Let me take a quick glance at my notes here and let's see if it's in there because that is a
Because I
great
wonder if
question.
is it like 1,000 feet or is it like, I mean, and I don't understand how this will work with like flights. I mean, I know obviously flights are like a very, very high elevation, but
The crazy thing is I don't have anything.
it doesn't say. Well, I might even just look that up for interest afterwards because I'm like, I want to know how high will this air taxi take me? Because also, like, are you going to feel the elevation every time if I'm just trying to get from point A to point B? Is because after a flight, sometimes I feel like very kind of like wonky, but
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My silver lining documentary on lrodtvnetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodtvnetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodtvnetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Yeah, it's definitely set up for small distances because it says Joby's aircraft uses 6 tilting propellers to take off vertically before transitioning into forward flight. It can travel at speeds up to 200 miles per hour and it has a range of 100 miles on a single charge. That's not a lot. Really, in all honesty, it's 50 because you figure it's got to get back to its charging
yeah,
station.
exactly.
So you don't want to be in the air like, uh-oh, well, what happened?
yeah, we can only make
Batteries
it.
dying.
Exactly. So yeah, I wonder like is this going to feel like a flight every time or are you just not even going to feel anything at all or I don't know that'll be weird cuz like I know for me like ascending and going up in a plane like I don't really love that feeling. So I wonder like how high and how fast it would be. I mean,
Yeah,
you said
I'm
100 miles
assuming
an
that
hour.
they're probably thinking that the vertical lift would alleviate some of those fears, but that would be something to kind of know is, and that's a great question. How far does it go up? Because
Yeah.
you know what? There's one thing that's not addressed in this article that I'm reading here is what are they going to do about drones?
Yeah. Yep. And just
And
like think of all the things that do go up in the sky. Like, I mean, I know it's ridiculous, but like I would imagine more bird strikes too and everything,
yes,
just birds flying at that level. So it'll be interesting to see. This is all stuff I'm sure they think about quite often. They're not just like surprised by it, but um I don't know. I just can't see myself being like, okay, I'm gonna go meet my friend at a coffee shop now and just like fly 2 seconds
oh
there.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Because the great point that you made up is that a bird strikes a big, Boeing jet, it can take that
yeah,
jet down. I mean, they lose that engine, that jet. They're going to land that jet, and get it out of here as soon as possible.
yes,
So you kind of wonder if a bird strikes one of these air taxis, what happens? I mean,
yeah,
is it a meaty enough type of equipment that it can withstand that? Or is it one of those situations where if it strikes one, you go, "Oh crap, we're doomed." You know what I mean? It's the unknowns.
yeah. Well, luckily we'll watch other people try it first before we do.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right.
Okay, well, my next one, um, I can personally relate to this because a few months ago I was victimized by my own bad haircut. If my hairdresser is watching this, she knows already, but I got like a bob, which is like something that is kind of to your haircut to your shoulders. And I was so upset after I told the woman, like, I don't want a bob. And she gave me one. Anyway, with all the things going on in the world, it's hard to talk about your bad haircut, but still anyone that's had a bad haircut knows what it's like to live life with a terrible, a terrible do. So, this woman, a TikTok creator, Edie Ofistel, went viral after posting a clip reacting to a haircut that came out much shorter than her reference photo, a bob landing at her earlobes rather than below. Now I saw this video because my algorithm was people getting bad haircuts because I hated my haircut so much. So I saw this kind of in the beginning. Now her hair is really, really short, and she showed the photo of what she wanted, and then she showed the photo of what she got, and the video drew tens of millions of views and sparked a wave of jokes, sympathy, and haircut gone wrong stories. Now, this is why I love this. I love TikTok because she was in on it, and like she was such a good sport, where she asked for recommendations, and she even like changed her bio to currently surviving a microbob. And so, but I love the internet in this way because it was a mix of people really giving helpful suggestions, and like the internet went out of its way to be like, okay, now let's see it with a hair clip. And then she did that, and they're like, no, okay, let's see it with like. So it's so funny because she tries everything that people will recommend. And then when she first posted it, people were commenting like, you just have to lay low for a while. You have to lay low. And then she'll be like out and about. And then everyone's like, we told you to lay low. So it's like, I feel like something like this is so funny because we all feel like invested. This is all of our haircut, together. So I just love the internet like this because we can come up with solutions. And like, I just thought she was so funny. She took a bad haircut and like went viral for it.
I can relate. But I tell you, there's nothing like a bad haircut.
I know. It like sets you back. It really does.
And it's like, okay, most likely, yes, it can grow back, but still, when
I
you're looking at
know.
yourself, and the craziest thing is, you're each person, me included, is more critical of my look, and you'll be critical of your look more than anyone else will. So, in other words, if your barber, your beautician misses something, you're going to see it every time you look in the mirror. Where the average
Yeah.
person may not even notice it, and it's like, I told that dude not to do that. It really
100%.
gets in your skin. Yeah.
No, I really had that in November where like she cut it so short and then she did a good job styling it. So I left being like, I love it. And I feel like we left being happy. And then the next day I really felt like so upset. I was crying. I felt like, what did I do? Like I felt in shock, and it just was like, of course this is not the biggest issue at all that anyone has, but I can sympathize. And then when you get a bad haircut, especially when it's so short as this creator had, because you can't like do anything with it. Like at least with mine, I can hide it a little bit, and I've been hiding it for a few months in different hairstyles. But this woman, it's just right there. So luckily, she has the face to pull it off. Like she's beautiful and she has a beautiful face. But I just thought that was so funny how the internet was like, you just need to lay low.
Here's the other problem. What if you have a very important event, like, I don't know, a wedding, or something of that nature, and
Yeah,
hair is messed up beforehand? Oh my gosh,
I
that would
know.
probably be devastating.
I always joke around like I don't care if I have split ends down to my ankles, I will never get a haircut again. Like my hair could be like falling out at the ends and growing, but I'm never gonna cut it. And I think people just need to like think more about when you're going to make such a big hairstyle change. I think we underestimate like how big of an absolute change it is, that if it's bad, it's going to like, I don't know, it really affected me mentally for like a few weeks and then I snapped out of it. But yeah.
People take their hair very, very seriously. So I
Mhm.
totally understand, especially women. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you mess up a woman's hair, it could be anything from upset to just flat out cursed out, in the chair. So,
Exactly. And I think like I'm real with our audience and like people can relate to is I think honestly what happened at the time too is like I didn't feel super good about my body and I feel like when you get a bad haircut it almost makes it like 18 times worse. You know, it's one thing if you get a bob and you're like whatever, I'm in the best shape of my life, but I felt like this was like my final straw of just being like and so I feel like and men feel that way too. Everyone does when it's like when the haircut goes wrong, you're like, but that's what I had. It's like my nice hair, you know.
true. That is true. That's one thing that it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. A bad haircut pisses off people. Don't matter if you are.
Exactly, exactly. So we get through it.
Well, um, this is not good news for Papa John's, but Papa John's is set to close 300 stores.
No.
So Papa John's is going to close 300 restaurants as it moves to cut costs and boost growth. So this article here from CBS News states that Papa John plans to shutter 300 of its restaurants by the end of 2027 as the struggling pizza chain moves to cut costs and close underperforming locations. Chief Financial Officer Ravi Thanwala said in a fourth quarter earnings call with Wall Street analysts that some of the restaurants slated to be closed are not meeting brand expectations or lack the clear path to sustainable financial improvement. In other cases, the restaurants represented locations where Papa John's can effectively transfer sales to a nearby outlet, he added. Papa John plans to shut 200 locations down by the end of this year, with the rest to be closed by the end of 2027, according to Dunwala. The pizza chain has 6,000 locations across roughly 50 countries and territories, according to its website. The restructuring comes as Papa John struggles to boost its domestic sales and drive growth. In February, the company reported 2025 revenues of 2.1 billion, flat compared with the previous year. Excuse me. Along with shrinking profits. What do you think, Meryl? Do you like Papa
Um,
John's?
I do. I do. I feel like it was a good mix between almost like fast food type pizza and actual real restaurant pizza. Like, of course, it's not like New York one of a kind pizza, but I feel like it's a little bit like healthier and seems a little bit more like homemade than a Little Caesars or a Pizza Hut. Maybe I'm way off base. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised because Papa John's to me was a good pizza.
Yeah,
To me they're similar to Domino's and Pizza Hut in that when you taste a Papa John's pizza, you know it's a Papa John's pizza.
yeah, the chemicals,
Yes,
the
yes.
mix of like the insane chemicals. Yeah,
So yeah, I'm very surprised, and to me it's kind of really rare to hear of pizza chains shutting down because let's face it, when it gets late and everything else is closed, that's one of the places you go to because it's still open.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And but I could understand how like having a ton in each city doesn't seem like to me if I don't know if you're okay to drive like 10 minutes to one, it's not like Starbucks where we need one on every corner.
That's true. That's true. But what's amazing to me is that if these restaurants are underperforming so badly, why are they waiting to shut them down? Or maybe I'm just
I
missing it.
know. I don't know. I wonder if it's just like maybe they're seeing if the quarter's ending, we're gonna like shut it down this quarter or they're gonna try
Mhm.
something else or I don't know. Knowing I bet there's like stakeholders that probably have some weird back deal or something.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder because it's like if 300 of your stores, which is a lot of stores, are underperforming, why do you want to wait 1 to 2 years before you shut them down?
I know. Cause like what if it has a big resurgence and now pizza is like.
Now, here's a great question. You brought up a great point, Merle, is what happens if some of those non-performing stores all of a sudden start doing really well? Do you still
I
shut them down
know.
or do you kind of
No,
back
then they cancel the cancellation.
off? Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Maybe sometimes people are thinking a little bit too fast. I remember we talked about um, what was it? Old Cracker Barrel. Remember when Cracker
Oh
Barrel was in that transition?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody kind of like, some people like lost their minds because they were changing the logo and the name. It's like, wow, really?
I know it. I feel like it was also at a time where it's like, don't take away the only thing we have, which is Cracker Barrel. And
So
that's under the category of like, don't break something if it's not broken, or what, don't fix it if it's not broken type of thing, where it's like we don't need to randomly hear a new logo from Cracker Barrel. But I understand that Papa John's. I wonder if it's just like planning out a year from now.
yeah, I mean, I know you used to see commercials. I mean, at least over here, we used to see commercials for Papa John's all the time. I haven't seen a Papa John's commercial in a very long time here. What about you, Meryl? Do they still show
Um,
commercials for
yeah,
Papa
I
John's?
see them. I definitely see them. I feel like they're one of the rare ads that I see, and it actually does influence me. Where I'm like, "Ooh, okay, that does sound good right now."
Well, if you like your Papa John's, definitely go out and support them and buy their pizza before they shut down.
Exactly. Sometimes on DoorDash, they'll be doing such good deals for Domino's or Papa John's that I'll tell my boyfriend like I'm losing money if I don't order a small pizza right now. Like it's like buy one get one free, a small pizza at $9. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is too much pizza for everyone to eat.
Hey, you know what? If you time it right, you got leftovers.
I know, I know. But then of course, like you have leftovers of just like chemical dough and like after I eat any of those pizzas the whole next day I'm like crying and I don't feel well and yeah, but it's worth it in the moment.
Yes, I definitely hear you on that. And you know what? Pizza is the best when you first get it. Even when you
Yes.
warm it up, it's still good, but it's not the same.
Right. And like I feel tough with pizza because as someone that does like overeat and everything, there's no like ending to it because I'm like I just want another slice, another slice. Like it's a hard food to eat because to me it's like I never feel quite done. You just kind of go from wanting it so bad to then just feeling grossed out, like it's not like at the end of a meal to me. Whereas like a steak with mashed potatoes, it's like when those things end, the meal is over. But it feels to me with pizza like it's always just another slice.
That's true. That's true. And even if you're full, if the pizza's good enough, you're gonna force yourself to eat one more slice.
Oh yeah. There's times that I've ordered like a small pizza and been like, "Oh, okay, this is obviously two meals, so I'm going to." And then of course, like 15 minutes later there's no pizza left.
Don't feel bad on Merle. We've all done that.
Exactly. We've all done that. Well, my last one, someone who probably doesn't eat a ton of pizza, just because she's so healthy, is so WNBA star Cameron Brink said that her fiance first reached out via email. I think this was so cute. ESPN reported that she said that her now fiance Ben Felton didn't DM her; he emailed her instead while they were at Stanford. She shared his number and acknowledged DMs can feel creepy. ESPN added that they've been dating since March 2021 and they got engaged in 2024. I think that is so cute. So basically, like he emailed her saying, "Hi, DMs could be creepy. Here's my phone number." And I think that's so sweet and just like a very classy move. What do you think? Would you, if you were, of course, you love your wife, but like, would you have emailed her in the beginning or DM'd her?
Um, I'm assuming that he had to have known her or something in order to get the email address to
Or maybe
begin
like
with.
in class. Yeah, like maybe
Yeah,
they knew each other in class or something.
that's true. That's true. Um, I don't think I'd put in there that, hey, I know DMing could be kind of creepy, and then you send an email. Some people may get kind of freaked out about it.
Mhm.
But I do want to give him an A+ for creativity. 100%. And you know what? That's how you get someone's attention is being creative, being different from the next guy.
Exactly. When I first started dating my boyfriend, I thought it was so cute how we talked on Facebook message and then he said he took it to text and said, "Why don't we like take this now to texting?" And I always told him like, "Wow, look at you. What a good like little baller you are getting it to," because I thought I thought him moving it from Facebook to text was so impressive. And he's always like, don't make me feel like I'm an idiot. Because I'd always be like, wow, good for you.
Hey, he was taking it to the next level.
I know. I think that's very sweet. So I love when men or whoever is doing the courting, when they're just like, instead, because people can DM forever and ever, but I think it's like so classy and so attractive when someone's like, we're going to move it to the actual phone, or in this case, the email.
Whenever you do that, you know, most women are looking like, okay, all right, I see you. I see you. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, most women, I like, of course, everyone feels differently, but I feel as though most women, we don't want to chit chat with like a guy on Instagram 24/7. We like men that can take charge, and, whether that's like putting it in our court to call them, or to like move it to the phone and move it to in-person dates. Cause a lot of men just like waste time chit chatting on Instagram, and they kind of want to be pen pals, but it's like, women appreciate action and like showing that you're interested.
Oh yeah, and the times are different now, Meryl. Where young people, they don't use the phone like we did growing up. Everything is
Right.
you know via messenger through Instagram or whatever kind of social media platform, and which is okay. I get it. Times do change, but there's nothing like that human to human connection.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's a great idea. I think
Me too.
kudos. A lot of young men should pay attention to this.
Exactly. And I even think move it to actual sitting. Like, one of my friends has a crush on a girl and he's in his 40s. And I'm like, ask her to go out to Denny's or to Papa John's with you, or, a real,
Nope.
like a real actual place where you're sitting like at a booth. And that doesn't mean you're getting married. It just means you want to like be in human contact with someone.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great advice for him.
Thanks.
Well, my last topic is actually a fun one. So, are we saying goodbye to happy hour? And how are bars adjusting to getting customers back? So,
Ooh.
this is an interesting topic for a number of reasons. So, the traditional 5 to 7 p.m. happy hour, once a staple for post work drinking and socializing, is fading due to the rise of hybrid work, reduced
Mm-hmm.
business budgets, and a shift towards a healthier and more intentional alcohol consumption. To bring consumers back, bars are evolving from just drinks to experiences, focusing on premium offerings, interactive events, and a better, more inclusive social atmosphere. I'm stunned it took them this long to figure this out, you know? So some of the reasons for declining of happy hour, obviously remote hybrid work. With fewer professionals in offices, the office to bar migrations have evaporated, causing a 44% drop in after work visits to restaurants compared to 2019. Changing demographics and health. Younger generations, the Gen Z and millennials, are consuming less alcohol, prioritizing fitness, and seeking moderation. Now, of course, there is also the economic factors. Inflation and higher costs have made traditional cheap drink specials less profitable for operators, while customers are less interested in low quality 2-for-1 deals. Yeah, that cheap stuff will make you sick. So, how are bars adjusting to get customers to come back? So, what they're doing, some of the things they're doing is reverse happy hours and elevated bites. To counter the early evening lull, many bars are implementing reverse happy hours, which is late night, or offering higher quality, Instagram worthy small plates and artisanal cocktails rather than just cheap beer. So the rise of mocktails and no low ABV options recognizes the sober curious movement. Over 40% of the restaurants are adding sophisticated non-alcoholic drink options using premium functional ingredients rather than sugary juices. That was a mouthful. What do you think, Meryl?
Wait, what was the last thing you said? Rather than what? Rather than what?
Oh, rather than rather than using sugary juices.
Oh, okay. Sugary juices. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, especially like living in Los Angeles, that is a foodie city for sure. Like, I agree that making to me like I don't know, people my age don't really want to go out at 10:30 at night either, but we want like really good quality food for not $50 a piece, like happy hour deals, but not for like Buffalo Wild Wings. Not that there's anything against it, but just not the typical type bar food. And I think you have to really work with like TikTok and influencers, because I really do feel like even though it can be annoying, like foodie influencers, at least in like a bigger city like LA, they kind of have the lock on where people want to visit for happy hour. Because I feel like there's so many choices, whether it's bars or typical restaurants, that I think people need to like see the deals as well. So um, I know for me, like I do love a happy hour moment, especially on Friday, because you can just like meet a friend from 5 to 6:30, have like a wonderful time, and then be home by 7. And I just think that's so nice. But I agree that like less and less people are wanting to drink and spend like $70 and then be done. So I think it's just a mix of like offering actually really good happy hour items, because a lot of the restaurants I've been to are like weird potato skins, and it's just stuff that are kind of throwaway. So I think restaurants will do well when it's like quality items that people really actually want.
Oh, exactly. And there's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, don't drink. So um, I know I don't see it as much as they used to, but bars used to have uh, virgin pina coladas, virgin mai
Hmm.
tais. So basically, it's pretty much the same type of a drink, just without the alcohol.
Yeah.
And the alcohol is the most expensive ingredient to that drink. So there's two things that happen. One, you can reduce the cost of that drink because it's non-alcoholic and still keep the margins that you expect to run in a bar. It's a win-win for everyone. I mean, I've always said I don't know why restaurants don't offer bottled water instead of,
Yeah,
because,
I know.
sometimes there's times where I've gotten watermelon and I kid you not, if I see it kind of cloudy, I'm not drinking that water.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so gross. Or like to me, like my friends for sure are more like on the coffee side of things. So if there was to do happy hour with like iced lattes or coffee
Mhm.
drinks, because I feel like if I had to pick a drug or a poison, like I'm more apt for caffeine than I am alcohol. So I feel like having happy hour with really good food and like more caffeine drinks as an option could be good, especially LA. Everyone loves their matcha here. Um, but I also think when I think about my friends and everything, it's hard for people to make it at a place at like 5:30 or 6, no matter what job they have.
That is so true.
You
That
know?
is so true. And I think I mean, there are some people that's going to always have their beer, their cocktail. That's not going to
Yeah,
change.
yeah,
But I think by widening out, better quality food, maybe giving some really nice tasty drinks that are alcohol free, you start tapping into this marketplace that you never really had before. So it kind of helps stabilize your business to me.
exactly. There's one place here that I can't wait to go to. It's called Dante, and it's in Beverly Hills, but very fancy. But they do a very good special, like a martini special, and
Mhm.
they've done everything right. Where like people talk about it, like it's definitely buzzy in the city. They have good social media about it. I just haven't had like the time. I don't really find myself like able to be there at 5:30. But that's one in my mind that they've done everything right, and like I can't wait to go. And even if I don't care about alcohol, like that's the situation where I will have one martini with a friend and spend like 45 minutes and then call it a day, and like see someone really quickly and go. So it's stuff like that where they still offer like a really high quality martini, but it's like way cheaper just for an hour or two.
Oh yeah, and it's about the experience. Really, that's what people
Yeah.
want. When you go into a bar, whether it's a high-end bar or let's say if it's just, a hole in the wall, you go in there to have a good time, kind of forget about whatever stress is on your mind and just have fun with some friends and family. That's really what it's
Yeah.
about. And if you could have quality food, quality drinks without having to get drunk or spend hundreds of dollars, that's a bonus.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Now I'm hungry. I'm ready for happy hour.
Well, Meryl, tell us, what do you have coming up?
Well, besides going to go get a martini with my friends, I keep telling my friends too, I want us to get dressed up like we're like 80s business women, like from the 1980s, and to wear shoulder pads. And anytime a friend wants to hang out, I'm like, perfect, you could meet me for like a 12 o'clock martini. Like
Nice.
I want to get back to like doing power lunches, even though I don't really have anything to be powerful over. But okay, my next show is next Tuesday, March 10th, and it is at a place called Flappers in Burbank. That also happens to for real have a good happy hour. So you can go and get your happy hour on, and they actually have good food.
Nice, nice. Well, if you're in the area, definitely come out and support Meryl and get in there for that happy hour.
Yep.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We really
This was fun.
appreciate your support. Thank you for watching us and also for listening to us and also commenting on all of our social media outlets. Please continue to let people know who we are. And we can't wait to our next episode.
Yeah.
I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on elrodthenetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on elrodthenetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to elrodthenetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.